All right, once again, Scott MacKenzie, MD&M. This is News and Brews. We're going to have a great conversation, and I always get notified that I've got to look at a different camera. So don't be distracted by my lack of ability to look at the right camera, but we have the right people in place to make sure that I do. So you can be rest assured. Look at it. There's some of our fans out there too. Hi, fan. Fan 1. Fan 2, 3. Oh, there's some. Yeah, the fans are here. They're here. You know what they're going to be listening to? We're going to be talking about coffee, not just any coffee. What kind of coffee? Shop floor coffee. Many different flavors and grinds. Did I say that right?
You did.
You get electric. Enough of that. Amy, right here. She's amazing. You're a co-founder?
Co-founder. Yep.
Yeah, give us a little, 411 on who Amy is.
Yeah, so Amy Teal, I've been in and around manufacturing for years. I was in a 3D printing company for a while. And
what company?
3D printing with Stratasys. Right. So that's where my introduction into manufacturing was. And it was quite a journey, and that was when I really started to hear more about workforce development issues and how people are struggling to get employees in their facilities. And so that was.
Are you struggling with that chair?
Yes, I continue to spin. If I let go of the table, I spin.
Okay.
So
we're gonna understanding here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try really hard to stay right here.
So just more background on who Amy is.
Yeah.
Did you, through your education, focused on manufacturing, or
no?
You just sort of went into manufacturing. It's like,
I did. Yeah. Right out of high school, I went to cosmetology school, and then I
shut the front door.
Ventured into drafting and design, and I ended up doing inside sales, and that's what brought me into 3D printing. I quickly realized that I wanted to be in marketing, and I started doing events and coming to trade shows. So I've been to MD&M West several times with the other company.
It's been around for 40 years.
Yes, yeah, 40th anniversary.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Scuttlebutt has it.
Exactly. So, yeah, so it's been great. I've been able to go to a ton of different events, and that's really what drove the inspiration for the coffee company.
It's an interesting journey. Let's just sort of make sure that we all are under. It's like, I don't know of many people that say, "Gosh, darn it, I want to source coffee, and then I want to roast it, and then I want to learn about all of that, and then be able to do it in a way that it doesn't taste bitter."
That's right. I mean, it's really important to make sure it doesn't taste bitter, and getting it to the right, I don't know, roast levels, and making sure everything is set up right. It is.
It's amazing.
And that's where I have great partners that have been able to teach me all of the things that we need to know.
Yeah, because we're talking brew right here, by the way.
Yeah.
Here it is. I'm having some right now. Delicious. And it is. It's good. It's smooth.
It is. Yes.
Okay, so as we go down this road, we're venturing down. You guys are thinking about, hey, let's do coffee, which is an interesting. How do you begin to source? What is that step? It's one thing to say yes, but then, it's an international product. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna back it up just
the World Wide Web.
A little bit, because I think part of our story of why we decided to do coffee in manufacturing is a big deal, because most manufacturing facilities just have really terrible coffee. It's so bad. And so that's the other part. So it wasn't just the workforce development, but we wanted to bring better coffee and try and introduce that coffee culture to manufacturing, that coffee can be better. And so that's kind of where we started. But when we started the company, we actually started drop shipping. We went to a roaster that provided a drop shipping program because we needed to make sure that the business model was something that was going to be viable. Now, we really quickly realized that's not going to be a business model that's sustainable for us, and that's when we transitioned to a roaster in Minnesota that's closer to us, because we're in Minneapolis. So that's when that all transitioned, and we started looking at our own blends and our own varietals that we were going to provide to companies.
So when you started to drop ship, you just sort of branded it.
Yes.
The way you need to brand it, and then you just drop ship. And of course, that's not something that's truly scalable in a sense.
Correct. And it's not our own varieties.
Right.
It's what this other company was providing, and it was great, and it was a way for us to introduce the idea to the market as I spin in my chair. It was a really easy way for us to make sure that we would be able to make this thing work. And then we transitioned to learning about beans and roast levels and everything else.
So talk about a steep learning curve. Steep.
Very
Because
much.
I geek out on coffee. I love coffee. I'm a coffee achiever. Thank you. And whenever I visit roasters, I'm always fascinated by how they're roasting, the humidity level, the science behind it. I'm not venturing. I don't know. I stayed at a Holiday Inn, so I feel like I know a lot about it.
You're an expert now.
Yeah, that's right. But take us on that journey. Come on.
I mean, it's
cool.
wild. Like when you go to your first coffee event and you're talking to these coffee experts, you very quickly realize how you know nothing. And there's so much to learn from how beans at different altitudes are going to taste different. It's very much like the wine culture, where wine, when you're getting it from a certain region, it has a certain flavor profile and perspective, and that's what you're getting with coffee. It's very much similar. And I didn't know much about it. And so we've been learning a lot and learning how the different regions provide different flavor profiles and figuring out how to make those right blends to make sure it's not bitter, it's palatable.
Yeah. So now you have a roaster. You're
Yes.
roasting the beans. You're saying, I want a recipe that has these type of beans and then those type of beans and bring them. That didn't happen overnight.
Nope.
You had to literally get some caffeine buzzes going on.
You did. Now, when you're doing a cupping, so when you're doing a sampling and you're trying to taste the different coffee profiles before you get started and really hone in on which one you're going to go for, you do a cupping. And growing up, your parents always teach you not to slurp things like your soup. And when you go to a cupping, that's what you have to do. You have to slurp the coffee. And I am not natural at it, and I will tell you that right away. I make weird faces. But you slurp the coffee and you really try and coat your whole mouth to make sure you get all of the flavors that you're gonna have. But it's a whole process. You smell it, and it's just a unique experience in that.
See, this is so fascinating because I would imagine when you started to sample coffees, cupping them, they all sort of started tasting the same. When was that time when you just said, oh no, that has this sort of flavor profile, and I get it, and I'm sensitive to it?
Oh, I'm still learning that part of it, and it's amazing because they taste wildly different when you have an Ethiopian bean next to something from Peru.
Which is fantastic. I love
is.
Ethiopia.
I do too.
Oh,
And then
unique.
you go from a natural Ethiopia to a washed Ethiopia. They have completely different profiles. They smell completely different, and so you start putting them next to each other and trying them, and it's just amazing how different.
Okay.
Now, I may not be the most articulate in saying this one tastes like chocolate or floral tones or some things, but I do know they taste different. So this is where we have those experts.
When I read the packaging, and you're getting some dark cherry combo here, and I'm
Yes.
going, come on, dark cherry, help me out right now.
Yes.
So you popped in something that I want to sort of explore a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have natural and then washed. What? Come on. What is that? I mean, so you're Ethiopian. I fell in love with coffee. That Ethiopian was my gateway coffee experience, and I just said, oh, there is a difference. So what is
I don't
that?
know the whole process.
No, it's
I
okay.
can't even
It's-
explain that one very much because I'm still learning the whole thing, everything there is to know about coffee. And so I don't know what the process actually is, but there is a difference between washed and natural beans. So
But your roaster, right?
Yes.
Doesn't just. There are certain coffee providers that I feel like they over roast it, and it
Yes.
becomes sort of burnt.
yes.
And how do you guys know that and you avoid
Yes.
that, because your coffee's fantastic?
Thank
Coffee,
you.
right there.
Shop floor coffee.
Yeah, flavor profile.
Yes.
Which is
You're drinking hydraulic fluid right
I'm
now.
drinking
which
hydraulic
I am
fluid.
sure you did not wake up this morning and think you were going to be drinking hydraulic fluid today.
but I'm happy to do so.
I'm glad you are. Yes. So I forgot the question that we were talking about.
Well, it's something about coffee.
Yeah.
Let's take us through these packaging. So what do we got? How many flavors do you have?
So we have 10 different varietals right now. So we have some coffee that we really just provide online that's more of a consumer coffee. It's something that someone that has a real love for coffee. You're going to get your single origins that are going to provide a different flavor profile.
Yeah.
And then we have ones that we're selling into facilities that are maybe a little more economical. And so we have our signature blends are the ones that I'm going to call are a little more economical, that we're branding and packaging in a way that works well for manufacturing facilities. And then the specialty blends are the other ones, and specialty roasts that we have are the ones that we have in a different sense. But what's great about it is
Yes, talk to us.
our ones that are made for manufacturing facilities are very PR or HR sensitive names. So we've got hydraulic fluid first shift and throughput and downtime decaf.
Well, that's new. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. That's pretty doggone cool.
But now when we get into our specialty coffees, we have some real fun names. So we have the FNG, we have Weekend BS, we have Red Shop Towel.
Look at
So
you.
we're getting into some fun things with the coffees when we go that way.
Yeah,
So.
and there, she
Yeah.
wants your attention. She just sort of walked all over you.
She really
That's
did.
right. It's okay.
But that's okay.
So talk louder because we
I
have
can do
somebody.
that.
There's 20%. What does that mean?
Yes. So part of the whole reason we started the company is we knew that manufacturing has a workforce issue. There is a ton of open jobs right now, and it's going to continue to be a problem and continue to grow. And so we wanted to find a way that we could give back to the community. So we donate 20% of our proceeds back to workforce development programs to try and spur growth within manufacturing. So that was the whole point of starting a coffee company, to be able to give back to the community.
Her name is Amy. The company is Shop Floor Coffee, and I feel like I'm battling somebody.
You
I'm
really
not
are.
battling you, Amy.
No.
No, I'm battling somebody else that I don't even know. You guys got to get you got a great website. I went out there, so I saw
you.
it. It's good. Shop Floor Coffee.
Shopfloorcoffee.com.
Amy, reach out.
Yes.
Yeah, reach out to them.
Yeah.
You won't be disappointed. The coffee's great. Absolutely. All right, Scott MacKenzie, MD&M. We are talking manufacturing. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of other conversations shortly. So there.